Hi, my name is Dennis Dunaway. I'm from the original Alice Cooper group, best known for that. And I have a new band along with Joe and Albert Bouchard, who were in the original Blue Oyster Cult. We have a new album out called Million Miles More. It's doing quite well for us. It's on the CD Baby bestseller list. Alice Cooper sings on a track. Buck Dharma plays scorching guitar on a track, and Goldie McJohn from Steppenwolf plays on it. And it's also the executive producer of Jack Douglas, who does Aerosmith, did John Lennon, Alice Cooper Group, and Blue Oyster Cult as well, and Warren Hewart, who works with Aerosmith as well. So that's what I'm doing now. I've been playing music since I was 17 years old, which I started in 1964. My high school buddy and I, Vince Fournier, who went on to become Alice Cooper, and I started a band along with our other high school buddy, Glenn Buxton, who played guitar. And I did, I had my influences were blues rooted through the Rolling Stones, learning Bill Wyman's parts. I also like Paul McCartney, but more as just his inventiveness as opposed to me actually learning bass patterns from him. And then when I heard Paul Samwell Smith of the Yardbirds, that just everything was, I was enlightened. Then I knew that bass could do anything that I wanted it to do. And I didn't necessarily learn parts that he did, even though I did, but just the concept of that you don't have to do the same thing that other people do, and that you can do something new on every song. That was the feeling that I got from it, and I just took that and took it to the moon as much as I could. The Alice Cooper Group recorded a few albums before I discovered Rotosounds. Actually, that happened on the song School's Out. I just finished recording the track and redid the bass part, and just finished redoing the bass part with flat wound strings, and Rody came in with these new Rotosound strings. I put them on and I thought, wow, the tone is great. And so I said, we got to redo this track now. So that's what I did. I re-recorded it on the spot, and that's what's on the record. And then I recorded a couple other tracks on that album, School's Out. So I was in love with Rotosound Strings from then on to this day. Basically, I used the, this is new packaging, but the same strings, 45 to 105, standard. I stuck with these because I found that when I was out on the road and I needed strings, these were easy to find as opposed to going to some custom gauges. In School's Out album, we did a little desktop here. Actually, it is a school desk. On the back, there's gum and perforation, so you can pull out the legs and stand it up like your school desk. And it's got our initials carved in it. I don't know if you can see this, but then it opens up like a school desk, and it's got all of kids' stuff in there, marbles and slingshots, and picture of the group there, and various things. And then came with a little report card, and the report card was didn't have very good grades on it, which I'm sure parents didn't like. And I'm sure they didn't like the dust cover to our record. We decided to be different, and instead of having a paper dust cover, we had a pair of panties, which they've replicated on this CD release, which is pretty much exactly like the vinyl record was. That's what we did. We did a lot of things to be as different as possible, but we also did what we liked. I met Alice in art class, and we applied a lot of our artistic things that we liked into the band. I also played on Alice's new album, Welcome to My Nightmare, the sequel. And 3 of the songs on this album are the original Alice Cooper group and produced by Bob Ezrin. I used the Rotosound strings on those tracks as well, and they came out great. Now, this is the $1 billion bass. This is my original bass that I got in 1970, and I glued all this stuff on it. And I used this exact bass on Schools Out and on most of the original Alice Cooper group albums. But the Fender Custom Shop makes these replicas. Paul Waller of the Custom Shop, and it's called the $1 billion Jazz Bass. And I just happen to have one right here. So we play a lot of festivals. I played a lot of festivals in the glory days. I always get the feeling from a festival crowd that the volume of energy is remarkable. You can get high energy exchange between the audience and the performer in a small club, but at a festival, the volume of it is just so magnificent. Like Richie Havens had a song that he wrote on the spot at Woodstock called Freedom, and it was one of his hits, and that song was about that energy level that he was feeling that day, and that is the perfect way to describe it. I always think of that song whenever I play festivals, because that is the feeling that I get whenever I get up on stage in front of that kind of a crowd. Now, young kids come up and ask me advice from time to time. These 2 young kids in particular recently, and they said, well, tell us what to do. And I'm like, well, I can't tell you what to do. We threw chickens at the crowd. You're going to have to do your own thing. And I really believe that. If somebody gives you advice, you really should consider it for your needs, because a lot of it is sound and a lot of it still applies, even though the music business has changed so much. But you should also consider throwing advice out the window, which is what the Alice Cooper group did. A lot of people made fun of us in the early days, and next thing you knew, they were copying us later. So anyway, that's how it works. Be different. Be yourself. Be your own unique self, because that'll make you different than anyone else. Do what you like, and enjoy yourself. I mean, don't take it too seriously. I still have as much fun as I ever have, and if I didn't, it would be work. It's not work to me. It's fun. I love it. And I will give you one tip, though. I do suggest that you try these Rotosound strings if you don't already use them. And I recommend them highly. I've used them since 1972. And here we are with Rotosound's 50th anniversary. And I just want to say happy birthday, Rotosound. Love you guys.